1977. Star Wars premiered as they cut the exegeus flap of my umbilical. "The king is dead," ran the herald, and the midwife handed over the genesis of my unfledged, unwhimpering body. In the carry cot of my mother's arms, hissing privately with birth, I cried nothing, confessed nothing. It was the year of the snake and the spy who loved me, the year Zulfikar Bhutto was ousted by the Bond villain Ul-Haq, the year Steve Biko was clubbed to death in custody. Fidgety among the hangings, my grandfather peered down longingly for 90 minutes at the pitch below the hospital where rangers were leading wanderers. A rangerette herself, when I was born, my mother asked the doctor for the score. It's a classic match, 8 fingers, 2 thumbs. 75,000 fans lined the streets of Memphis for the king's funeral. 500 million tuned into their small screens as the Queen's Jubilee carriage trundled up the Mall. My father was late to the maternity ward. He arrived bearing a thin deck of lilies, whitely inflamed from their sprigs. It was the year President Carter pardoned draft dodgers and George Willig, aka the human fly, climbed the World Trade Center. I was speechless, ready to alight, preserved by a flambeau of luck. This was the year Sadat became the first Arab leader to visit East Israel, seeking a peace deal. The year my brother, on hearing the altarpiece of our house break in its glass, shelved us together under the bed. "When will it ever stop?" I heard one voice whisper to another. My mother scooped up my digesting mess from the floor. The year ended in a clappering of bells. Amnesty won the Peace Prize. The Cold War was inscrutable. On and on it went. Kind of embellished biography there. Which is sort of what my last book, Blood Sugar, was about. So I'll read this other new poem, and then a couple from Blood Sugar and finish, kind of trying to complete the kind trinity there that you mentioned in the notes in my biography, of reading a Burmese poem again. But this is a new one. This is, I suppose, this was written just after the problems in Libya began. And I was fortunate enough to meet at a poetry festival in Syria a wonderful poet, probably the leading Libyan poet, certainly of the older generation. His name is Ashur Atwibi, and he was born in Tripoli, and hopefully is still there. I haven't heard from him since trying to make contact. It's called Are You in the Hills, Ashur? And I suppose there's only one thing to mention here. One of the things I agree with about, one of the things Reagan said, Gaddafi appears in this poem as the mad dog, and that's what Reagan called him, the mad dog. So, Are You in the Hills, Ashur? For Ashur Atwibi. To find an anchor point in the burning compass, to ask your Sufi acumen, your active pacifism, and colossal progeny. Are you in the hills, Ashur? The prophecies you wrote read predatorially acute. There at the blade shaft, amid battle shrapnel, connecting peace war to holy war to bureau war, these eternal strictures, handiwork for bribe cuts, to mass in the censoring scythe over Green Square, still shot for Libyan TV, agenda set cutaways, strip cold an entire family from the video montage. Along border strongholds, the rancor to delete phone folders, cameras, the palpable hallucination, a child struck deep at the belly, for the same old rhetoric, same facts, useless to an emergency. Are you in the hills, Ashur, steely and bulletproof, the black oak shell skin of the roadside corpse, not you, but freeze-framed to broker the convivial oil deal, a pack full of joker cards, the mad dog's wheelmen de-rig photo propagandas. He, becalmed and resolute, jeeped in a spoof studio, not at the drum fields, pointing his rotten cane. Who guards the past there? Only dust in the footages, leftover luggage, and the finger-wagging send in the Marines counter-bluff, guzzled up by SUV track distance, where I come back blind, after the dream, after the nightmare, to a dead phone line, to your Epicurean face missing in the crowd. So I'm fortunate enough to have a few poems in the forthcoming Fulcrum, and which Daniel has edited recently, and I'm really excited to see, as are many people, and he's still here to tell the tale. So here's one of the poems. Glad this one made it. I won't try and explain it. 2 phone calls at 4 a.m. The world is places where he will not go. John Berryman, Dream Song 65. 2 phone calls at 4 a.m. Little terrors in them, small as a seed at first, soon a lion's head. Lacking the mirror work of Cocteau's Orphée, or the white throat of a Bassoni sonata, mismouths become crosscuts, the blue-black spell, garlic in the roses. We offer anecdotes, Li Po drunk on sake, Li Po bent mad over books, Li Po remade as a lithical martyr by Daoping Zheng. The voice through the black wire counterclaims that plans for a statue in Dresden were recently disapproved on the grounds that the accompanying plaque was to state, "The dead are sore for revenge." Phone calls cut the crowd. A sympathetic ear smothers like a shot. The response lies on the tongue like a cube of sugar. It is the pip in our own voice that terrifies, the voice of the sweetening epic. Speed date, December 20th, 1970. The signalling gift, a miniature Bushmills, loosened from the rope of an espadrille. She downs it in a gulp and winces. The sting fires up like a sickness. He spreads his legs as if for a dance. His superego draws new coordinates. She sizes him according to rank and faculty, as if their lives were the fate of a country. Marry me. And in the flashing pause, the yes in her mind intones a world. Dousing the bright berg of an oil lamp, his shadow casts a gargantuan cage. The kiss means nothing it understands. It marks a map that outwits their age. My beautiful partner is here, and I always make her blush by mentioning this reading. But this poem is for her. She has a fear of flying, and which is getting better and better. During our early flights together, she would have to get so terribly drunk, and I would sort of carry her off the plane. And sometimes we just get drunk, just to, you know, we want to take a flight just so we can get drunk. That's how bad it's got. But, so this is sort of about her fear of flying. There is a mention of Catherine Mansfield at the beginning and at the end of this poem. Air terminals for Sandeep. I dreamed of a page in a book containing the word bird, and I entered bird. Anne Carson, Gnosticism 1. Air terminals. Reading how Mansfield claims the word air is to live in it. Pure scheme versus science anxiety. not the duck of a boy emphatic, nor the rich leaning rosemary. More a chance to inhabit adrenal pressure, 6 hours of cloud braille pushed through sky. How to steady up when all at once air batches you out to crash phobias, night after night, wing tensions grazing your head. Small curve of trust in a child's joy at architecture. At the terrorist check, threshold versus counter-threshold, a sparrow's fear of total sunlight, a studious approach to Boeing assemblies. Carefully, your ration array of clothes, checked in tight folds, touches, and is how air means, clipped around the roots of a hand, as you look back, gesturing once, twice, finally. Air as the steadying of addiction, how to breathe as the shadow dips. Air guides to breakers at the logic gate, the perfect crime, always getting away. Evidences in landing vapor, the movement of my hand on your back that says, go. The route I take on foot, afraid and tenderly loyal. At the ventilation tunnel, the smooth saturation of air vocals, every tenor decorous. Your flaunting of altitude is strictly west hugging, how the difference tells. There was a cold, bitter taste in the air, and the new lighted lamps looked sad. One more? Okay, I'll read this one quite fast. I'm working on a book of an anthology of Burmese poets, and well, I think this is one of the best of the modern Burmese poets that I've come across. And his name is Salem, he lives in Rangoon. Sort of like a modern guru. And I'll read this for anyone who's lived in New York, where I was talking to Tess about this. A lot of people, we weren't talking about this particularly, but we were talking about New York, where I think there's just too many people with beards. So I'm going to finish with The Way of the Beards by Salem. There is a hair, the rhymeless of the world unite in Marx's beard. Not growing a beard is existentialism, says Sartre. Helen's beard that launched 1,000 ships. Beards looking for a chin like words for a poem. Beard is the war-torn town of the Chin in Civil War. In the history of Chin, beard is the defeated truth. The world burned down at Marilyn's beard. The mediocrities look elegant in media beards. Honored with flexible beard awards. The beard of the capital decorated with electric lamps. Oh, the beard of dreams beyond form. The beard of the desert whirling at the end of my vision. A small red mole still running on the beard of social realism. We have emerged from the raincoat of the famous Bluebeard. Beard sobbing over my shoulder. The news of the beard ghost is harrowing, but scientifically proven. The youthful beard, the powerful storm. Just take care of your beard, language will take care of itself. Instead of writing poetry, why not just grow a beard? Hey, beards of the world, let's get out of the languor. In the scene of the beard on trial, many myths are said to be trafficked in. Probing at the word, the scar of the beard was found. Stop press news, the beard has just called himself you. The spokesbeard has been shaved temporarily. His beard was also silenced, so goes the story. Post-beardism and the history of history scattered. The robbery of the 3 primary roots of the beard. A handbook to mental attitude analysis by Zen Beard. The mourning of the hummingbirds in the cage. The virtuous beards who are no saints. Sisyphus rolling up the untrimmable beard of the gods. This is my favorite. This beard is my brand, she said. History will forgive the beard. To install electric power all over the country, to establish beard power all over the land. Go away, you swinehead. You only love your beard. A beard is a beard is a beard. A rose is a rose is a rose. All of you belong to the beardless generation. God is playing dice with the beard. Thank you.